Good morning, team. What's happening, traders? How did you guys do? Anyone trade the news release this morning? How did it go for you guys? There were like, what, 6 different things that got released this morning? Unemployment rate, retail sales, non-farm payrolls, and then a couple of PMIs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Six things. Did anyone trade it? I did. So I shared it in Discord, but I took this short. Both ES and NQ swept the Asia high and started to reject. So I took it at 7:34, so 4 minutes after the news release, Central Time, so 8:34. And then got out of my position down here at VWAP. I actually exited a little bit early. Basically, my target was the bottom of this drop right before the news release. So game plan for today, I know I have a lot of lines on my chart right now, but these are some anchored VWAPs. This red anchored VWAP is from last night's low. And then this yellow anchored VWAP is from the news release. I like to use those just to kind of see where the momentum is. Like who has control. I'm leaning towards shorts, but if we hold above this, then the buyers from the bottom of today could still be defending their positions and we could go back up. And then same thing with the news. These are all people who sold after the news. If we break above that, then buyers are regaining momentum. So right now we're kind of pinching between the two, but leaning towards it going down. We also do have the overnight session VWAP here at like 25,219. So let's see what happens in the open, but I'm hoping for maybe a little move up to like grab some liquidity and then a move back down. We have these overnight lows as a potential target. And then if that doesn't hold, we could get down to 25K and then even lower. I'm not thinking this will happen today, but like 24,830-ish is a really big support area that I'm watching. So that's the game plan for today. I know I gave you a lot of different scenarios, but I'm leaning towards shorts. It's just a matter of, are we going to dump right at the open, or are we going to maybe get a little bit of a pump up and then back down? That's what I'm thinking. And a lot of times too, the news that even if it's released like an hour before the open, it'll create that same volatility at the New York Open. So it's a good time to either be patient and not take a trade or size down less than you normally would, because it could get a little crazy. All right, we got a little over a minute until the market opens. So if you guys haven't already, go hit that like button. Before you forget, I would appreciate it. Good morning, everyone in the chat. What's up? You guys feeling ready for today? Hopefully we get a little bit of volatility, right? Nothing like yesterday. I do trade volume profile. So I use the session volume profile from the previous New York session and I mark off those levels. That's what the value area high, value area low, and point of control is. And then I use the visible range volume profile to mark off support and resistance on the higher time frame. So I zoom out to like the 1 hour or the 4 hour or whatever I need to do to get as much price action on the screen as possible. And that's what these gray shaded boxes are. All right. Market's open and we're bouncing off a VWAP right now. Coming up to that news anchored VWAP. Let's see if it rejects from there. Or if this thing keeps moving up. It is moving up. So I'd be kind of leaning towards shorts all the way up until this. The news candle pump is sitting at like 383 all the way up to point of control from yesterday is like 396. If we stay below there, I'll be leaning towards shorts. If we start to reclaim that level and continue up, then I'm wrong and I'll be switching. What are you guys thinking in the chat? You think we're going to hold this level of VWAP and the overnight level was the bottom? Or are we going to kind of just get a little bounce and continue the move down? What you guys thinking? Let's start marking off. On days like today where I'm like marking off all these anchored VWAPs, my chart gets a little crazy. That's all right. I know what it all means. We're kind of hovering around that news candle anchored VWAP. Can't get above that just yet. As of now, this is our opening range, but we'll keep moving it as we go. Are we about to make a milli? I don't know about that, Joey. I'm just trying to survive. I'm just trying to make it day by day. We got some mixed feelings in the chat. Some people thinking up, some people thinking down. Nobody knows. Just letting things settle a little bit here. Kind of looks like the market's absorbing the news a little bit. Still holding above VWAP and the low of day anchored VWAP, which is that red line. So still holding above there. Let's see if we bounce a little bit higher before coming back down. You think it'll move to the right? Wise words in the chat right there. Up, down, nobody knows, but we do know it's going to move to the right. Still chopping around that news anchored VWAP. ES is coming down. Maybe starting to lead the way. Are we going down? Let me fix this. All right, let me get it to where my positions will show. That was a nice bounce off of VWAP on ES over here. Good move. There's the rejection. Yeah, things are still choppy. Even if you were in a long, that was a 50-point 1 minute candle. Could have hit your trailing stop loss if you were even in a long. I'm going to let things settle a little bit. Oh my gosh. Maverick. Top step X is down again. I feel like it's not even exaggerating. It's like 2 times a week, if not more. So dumb. And I know, like, you can make the argument that they're good about fixing things and, like, removing the losses on your account, but just the frustration of it, like, trading is hard enough. You don't want to have to deal with now you can't adjust your position because the whole platform went down, and then you have to wait 24 hours for them to fix it and then trade again tomorrow, and just that, like, anxiety of, is the platform going to go down? Am I going to be able to make money today? Am I going to be able to trade today? That sucks, man. I kind of feel like they shot themselves in the foot when they said that no one's allowed to trade with NinjaTrader or TradeAvate anymore. and then their platform fell apart. Now everyone's stuck trading with a platform that sucks, which is a bummer to say because I used to love Project X. Like, I would tell everyone in my Discord, use Project X because the risk management's so awesome and it's so easy to use. All of a sudden, it just fell apart. Sucks. Cheechamus, you would be in a nice ES long right now if they didn't suck so bad. Well, maybe you need to find a different platform to trade with. There's actually, I mean, yeah, I know Top Step has been around the longest and they're known for like good payouts and good rules and stuff, but there's so many prop firms out there now that have rules that are nearly identical to Top Step. Like Tradeify's new select plan is very similar. Lucid has their flex plan, which is almost identical. Funded Next, I think, is pretty much the same thing, where you like pass an eval and then 5 days of profitable days, no consistency. Like, there's so many options that pretty much have the same rules. All right. Could have taken this rejection from yesterday's anchored VWAP. I was kind of watching to see if it went a little bit higher, though. ES is rejecting a lot faster than NQ. ES is actually making a new low. NQ has not broken below VWAP yet. Interesting. Kind of watching here to see if ES is leading the way and NQ is going to break below VWAP also. Kind of looking that way. Taking a tiny position, just 2 contracts, because I know I am chasing it a little bit and VWAP is coming up here on NQ. But ES is well below it. So if this thing does continue, the ride down to these overnight lows is a good risk to reward. And I'll put my stop loss right up here towards these VWAPs. Let's see if it wants to continue down. You can do risk management with TradeDay also. Yes, you can. It just doesn't have the lockout features. You can still set like a daily loss limit and a daily profit target where it'll liquidate your position, but don't ask me how I know this, but you can go in and adjust that and then keep trading if you want to. I'll admit it, I've done that before. Whereas in Project X, it locks your account until the next trading day. Man Smooth, use my code on Lucid. Woohoo, thank you. Appreciate that. So yesterday when you traded your first day, consistency was negative 26%, and then you traded again on Asia, and now it's negative 346. Is it over with on your account? No. So did you get the 50K account, or which one did you get? If you got the 50K, then you have $2,000 in drawdown. So I don't know what amount you're down, but as long as you haven't lost $2,000, then your account's still good. A great platform is a Toss and Ninja. I've heard good things about a Toss. I've never used it just because it's a paid platform, and TradeDay and NinjaTrader are free if you're trading with a prop firm. So I don't have experience with a Toss. So yeah, Man Smooth, it's a $2,000 loss limit with the 50K account. So the consistency is kind of funky the way it calculates if you have losses. Same thing if you've only traded one day and you have like one day of winners, it shows your consistency is a huge amount. So just let that settle after a couple days. All right, have my stop loss. That's all right. I was in a tiny position. I was okay with that. Moving back up. It did peek its head out the bottom of that 15-minute opening range and then just shot back up. A little fake out. Yeah, Jeff, it sounds like Top Step X is down. A couple people in the chat have said the same thing. Yeah, Man Smooth, don't worry about your consistency percentage right now. But if you still have 48,946, you still have $946 of drawdown, so you're good to go. Once your consistency, once your balance gets over 50,000, then you'll see your consistency start to like level out and look like a more regular number, I guess. Coming back up to that 15-minute opening range high. It could reject from here. I'm going to watch and see if it comes a little bit higher and maybe grabs this news liquidity at like 383. It's chopping around up here trying to figure out what it wants to do. Oh. Not sure why my lines like just doubled. That was weird. All right, it's coming up to that high from the news. Let's see what happens here. If it continues up, I could be wrong. We could be looking for longs. But if it rejects here and it's a liquidity grab, I'll be watching for shorts. Let's see what happens. Going to try it. Are you gonna head down? It looked like it was gonna reject real quick. Come on down. I guess I can start to delete some of these VWAPs. It's getting a little crazy. Come on, let's get some continuation. Here's the New York anchored VWAP at like 25,304. I'm going to see what happens there. If we start to bounce, I'll take my position off. But I'm still leaning towards shorts for today, so this thing could keep going. This thing is bouncy. All right, moving to break even. Gonna watch if it ever gets down to this New York anchored VWAP. Come on. This is wild. Man Smooth, it shows it's not active. So is that your first 2 days of trading the account? So you've only lost a total of like $54. You should still be good to trade. I would log into TradeDay or NinjaTrader or wherever you're trading and see if you can take a trade. Sometimes that thing on the screen that says done for the day, that's not always accurate. All right, the fact that we're getting this bounce is making me wonder if we are going to get some continuation up. ES is holding above all these support zones right here. And it did grab that liquidity and reject, but then it didn't continue down. Pretty much back to break even for the day. I'm like $10 in the hole. Because this position that I took down here, it was just 2 contracts. It was a tiny little paper cut. And then this one stopped out at a little above break even. So far, it has broken both sides of our range. The 15-minute opening range is 140 points. So far, total, we're at like 185-ish. So pre-market, I was kind of saying if it rejects the highs, I'd be still watching for shorts. But if it breaks the highs and reclaims this 25,400 level, then I could be wrong. We do have one more area of resistance overhead of this value area high. If you look left, there's quite a bit of liquidity here, so it could potentially reject there. But I'm starting to get cautious with shorts. Yeah, man smooth, try taking a trade and see, like, if your account is locked for some reason, then definitely reach out to support and see what happened. But even if that the word says done for the day, don't worry about that. That's happened to me before where I can still take a trade if that happens. Top Step disabled the chat on their live stream. Oh my goodness. You know that's bad. All right, both ES and NQ are coming out to that point of control. Still, like I said, looking left, seeing this liquidity over here, that would be the last spot I could see us rejecting. But if we get a little pullback, we could be looking for a long. Yesterday someone asked about quitting, and I said, if you like trading, keep going. Yeah. I think you have to like fall in love with the process, because trading is hard, you know? It takes time to get really good at it, and by time I mean it could take years. So if you're just in it for the money and you're just trying to get rich, I feel like those people are gonna quit fast, because they're looking for it to be the vehicle that gets them out of whatever situation they're in quick. But if you fall in love with the process, and by the process I mean all of it, you know, like learning how to do hard things, learning how to be patient, learning how to look at yourself in the mirror and really like evaluate yourself and be like, what am I doing wrong? Like, what did I mess up yesterday? I'm getting emotional, I'm getting greedy. Like, you really have to look in the mirror and see where all your faults are, because if you don't, and you're that person who's like blaming the strategy or blaming the market makers or blaming Trump for making that tweet, then you're going to be the person who never makes it. So I think, yeah, falling in love with the process and the person that you become along the way, and then the profits will come, right? All right, we got a pretty big rejection at that point of control. ES is coming back down to that jumble of VWAPs and previous day low. Like, this is a pretty good area to bounce. If it doesn't, we could be looking at those shorts I was talking about. Let's see what happens here. It's a pretty big rejection on that 5-minute. I don't like the looks of that candle for a potential long. All right. That was a decent bounce. I'm going to give it a try. See if we get back up to the Asia high. NQ did hit it. ES has not yet. So this is the top of the news candle on ES. Let's see if we get back up there. 68.91 maybe. I'll take off half at the current highs, current New York highs at 68.80, and then hold the rest for overnight highs, or this morning's highs, I guess, the news candle at 68.91. If it goes up there, man. Choppy, choppy. Is TradeDay down? No. I'm using TradeDay right now. It's not down for me. I know last night I was having some issues with it loading, but I think it was because of the contract rollover. Everything was kind of like being rebooted. So you might have to log back out, log back in. I had to like re-add my chart to my screen. So you know that little plus sign in the top left corner where you can add the different features to your layout? I had to go back in and re-add my chart because when I logged back in, my screen was just blank. Like I could see my account number on the top and my balance, but that was it. The rest of it was black. So I had to add my chart and my time and sales and like all this stuff. I had to redo my layout. So that might be what's going on for you. All right, moving to break even at least. Yeah, no problem, man. Smooth. If you're not able to figure it out, let me know. But just try taking a trade, see if it works. And then if not, reach out to the Lucid chat support. Like you can go to their website and click on that little chat support bubble on the bottom right. And they're super helpful. I've never had any issues with their support, and they're fast to reply to. You'll probably get a response in a couple minutes during business hours like right now. But from the numbers you told me, your account shouldn't be locked. It's not like you've hit a daily loss limit or anything like that. Is today going to be one of those days where it's just choppy and I should have taken my profit and it keeps hitting my trailing stop loss? That's kind of what it's looking like. Gosh dang it. Can't be that mad. At least I'm still green. I'm up like $106. But dang. This is an ugly 5-minute chart. Starting to look barcode-ish with wicks all over the place. All right, ES is still holding above VWAP. NQ is hovering right at the New York anchored VWAP. Overnight VWAP is lower at like 25,260. Starting to look a little droopy. We do have our initial balance is going to be set in about 20 minutes. Just kind of sitting in the middle right now. Where's the midpoint of our range? Oh, it's bouncing at the midpoint right now. Interesting. This is where I'd like to see it move back up if longs are going to be the way to go. $5.33. Going to go long here. Honestly, just a risk to reward play, because this would be the very bottom edge of what I would be watching for longs at this point. So if we get the continuation, the risk to reward is decent. Back up to IB high. Buyers gotta show up though. Not looking good. ES is dropping below VWAP. I don't love that. Top Step X is back up. Woohoo! The problem is, how much has it frazzled you? Like, are you in the right headspace to be taking a trade right now? Or are you mad because of all the trades that you should have been taking while the platform was down? That's the part that you got to analyze is, are you mentally ready to trade anymore? Okay. Well, at this point, initial balance is going to be set in about 15 minutes, so I'm going to wait for that. We're kind of just chopping in the middle right now. Diddling in the middle. I feel like recently we haven't had very many days where we've broken both sides of the 15-minute opening range. A lot of times, one edge of the 15-minute opening range is the same thing as the initial balance because it only broke one side. But not today, both sides broke. NQ's coming back down to VWAP, this blue line. TradeDay is still down? My TradeDay's good. I don't know. Is anyone else having issues with TradeDay? Mine's working fine. The holidays are going to give some sloppy action until after Christmas. Yeah, I am probably not going to trade at all next week and maybe not even the week afterwards. I don't really like holiday volume for lots of reasons. I feel like I trade better when there's momentum. Like when I have to sit in a trade for, 25 minutes and watch it chop around and like almost come to my stop loss and then finally move up, and I mess up those trades because I move things too much. I mess with it. I just want to like get in, ride the momentum, get out. And also, I just feel like the levels don't get respected as well when volume is low. Because one big buyer or seller could come in and just mess everything up. Top Step is down again. Is anyone ready to stop trading with Top Step yet? You guys ready yet? How many times does their platform have to go down before you decide to make the switch? I'm not saying other platforms are perfect. You got to expect some tech issues, but dang, geez. Still hovering right here at VWAP on NQ, but it's not looking super bouncy. I'm not thrilled about taking a long right there. You heard that futures will operate 24/7 soon? I have heard that. I heard something like that like a year ago. Maybe not a year ago, but like several months ago. I agree. TradeDay is so old and clunky. Like, I was actually talking to someone else in our Discord about this. I feel like this is such a missed opportunity for TradeDay to upgrade their platform. Like, everyone loves Project X, but they hate the fact that it falls apart. So if TradeDay would just add a couple of features, like add some lockout features, make copy trading a little bit more user-friendly, add the bracket, the OCO orders, whatever they call it. Just some of those things, like, come on. This is such, like, me as a business owner, like entrepreneur mindset, this is such a missed opportunity for them. Dude, like, upgrade your stuff and you'll get all of the Project X people. Right? Am I the only one who thinks that? Like, TradeDay is dropping the ball, man. Okay, initial balance low. Coming in hot. I guess it's not technically the initial balance low yet because we still have 8 minutes. But still could be a decent liquidity grab. If we don't get a bounce here, we still have these overnight lows. Anyone could take the market share with a good platform at this point. Seriously. Anyone in the chat, software developer? There's a business opportunity for you right there. Go create a trading platform that actually is like modern and people enjoy using. It's user friendly and it works. Like, you can actually handle millions of people without crashing every day. Go do that. That'd be awesome. There you go, Zach. It's all you. Go create a platform. Still making its way down. I'm watching this level right here, 25,203. So if you guys are new here, I know I say it pretty much every time, but the liquidity grab kind of stuff I look for is a quick reaction. And a candle, an engulfing candle, a displacement candle, whatever you want to call it, but like a bigger candle. Like, these are all kind of wicky, small 1-minute candles. If there's an aggressive buy up off of it, the volume down here increases and it starts to get some momentum up. That's what I'd be looking for a long. We also have ES down at London low. So if there's kind of a synchronized liquidity grab bounce, that would be something that would give a little extra confidence. But so far, not seeing what I want to see. Yep. Not getting the bounce I wanted. I below line is continuing to move. You'll have it ready tomorrow, Zach? Oh, yeah. That kind of stuff probably takes, I don't even know, years. Because you have to like make it and then have people test it and then figure out what all the bugs are and then make it again. I don't know anything about software development, but I would guess it takes a while. There's some good volume on that last candle. ES is bouncing off of the London low. See if the momentum continues. Come on. Maybe back up to the New York anchored view up. But of course, we have to get past this view up first. Again, at least moving to break even so I don't screw it up. Gonna take off one at view up just because I've had 2 trades hit my trailing stop loss. Gotta lock in something. I'd like to see it get back up to that New York anchor view out though, targeting like 304-ish. You love trading with a 100-point stop loss? How's your blood pressure, Verisat? You good? You feeling okay? Maybe go take a walk. I'll take off 3 at New York Anchor VWAP and then just leave a little baby runner for the fun of it because this thing's starting to gain some momentum. How would you copy trade with Lucid? Should they buy 5 flex accounts tomorrow? Asking for a friend. You can copy trade in TradeDay or NinjaTrader, whichever one you're using. So you go into your platform, like there's a drop down menu. If you have more than one account, you click the little arrow and it drops down. And there's an option on the bottom that says, let me look at it right now. It says manage groups. And you just create a name for your group, like group 1 or whatever. And then you drag and drop which one accounts you want to copy trade over to. And then you have to make sure that box is checked. So check the box that says copy, and then whichever ones are in that group will be copied. The funky thing about TradeDay is that you have to multiply your position size by how many accounts are in that group. So let's say you have 5 accounts that you're copy trading. And let's say you want to take a position of 5 contracts. In your position order, you'll actually type in 25. So it would be 5 accounts times 5 contract size. So it'd be 5 per account. You would type in 25. So that's the only thing that's a little funky. You have to do some quick math. But yeah, that's how you do it. I would say either watch a quick video on it or practice, like maybe buy your accounts and practice with like 1 contract just to make sure you don't screw anything up. Because you definitely want to make sure you have that copy button checked. Because I've done this before, like telling you from experience, if you type in that 25 contracts and your copy button is not checked, then 1 account is going to be taking a position of 25 contracts. Ask me how I know that. So practice a little bit first. I know, G-Man is crushing gold. I'm over here getting slapped in the face by NQ. And he's crushing the gold gang. That is the name of the game today. Just super wiki all over the place. WTF, man. Yeah, what Verisad said, you can also get a copy trader. I've actually been using TradeSync. I think that's the easiest one to set up and manage. It's not the cheapest. There are definitely some cheaper ones out there, but some of the cheaper ones, in my opinion, were kind of clunky and like not very user friendly. But the group trading copy trader in TradeDay is really not that hard. You just have to be able to do a little bit of quick math and then know how to do the exit all positions button real quick in case you mess something up. You're on day 3 of a select account and you made too much, but will it matter since it's the 3rd day you made 1,500? It will matter because it needs to be 40%. So you would just have to do the math. Let me pull up my calculator real quick. 1,500. If you made 1,500 a day, 40%, your total balance for that account needs to be 3,750. Assuming you have a 50K account. So if your balance is not 3,750, then you either need to trade some more tomorrow to get to that balance or lose some today. Not loving the price action today, man. Would I try a failed action if it presents itself? Yes. That's kind of what I'm watching for. Let's see if it happens, though. We're definitely trending down, though. Like, we're continuing to break the lows. And we broke this recent high, but if you zoom out to the higher time frame, we haven't broken this high. So taking a long off of the initial balance low, hopefully we would get some quick momentum off of it so I could quickly move my stop loss to break even because we'd be kind of going against the trend. And all of these buy-ups keep getting slapped down pretty quick. I did personally do the daily payout option on TradeDay. I think the flex option is nice because the payouts can be bigger. So if you're super confident in your system and you know easily that you could get to that point, then probably go with the flex. I personally went with the daily. Just, I mean, to be transparent with you guys, I've kind of had a rough couple months of like not taking payouts and blowing accounts and stuff. So the daily is a good spot, a good like thing for me to do right now just to kind of build confidence. Even if I just make, $500 per account or whatever. Nothing, not huge payouts, but getting them more consistently just to get that back. So yep, that's what I chose. long for full port ES for the stream. Well, maybe if ES comes down to like initial balance low, then maybe I'll long. I don't know about full port. What do you call full porting? Like what position size are you talking about? Take no marvel. Yes, it did stop me out. I had my, so I took off one contract at VWAP, so I locked in a little bit, and then I had my stop loss in profit. So still green. I'm up like $130 on the day. Woo woo. It's kind of been the theme of the day, though, for me at least. Just coming back down and hitting my stop loss. WTF, man. $39 likes. What's up with that, guys? I like what G-Man said. Hulk, smash that button. Don't break your computer, though. Hulk, smash gently. $15 minis. Let's go. Oh my gosh. I have an account with $2,000 in drawdown. I might have a little bit more because I have a buffer on my account, but 15 minis? That wouldn't give me much space to be wrong if I was wrong. Yikes. Well, it is bouncing. I never came back down to that initial balance low. Was that your plan, NQ? Just to come stop me out and then continue up where I wanted it to go? That's messed up, man. I thought we were friends. Actually, who am I kidding? Me and NQ are not friends. We're not friends yet. Still working on it. I'm trying hard to make her be my friend. Not having a whole lot of success with it. We have good days and we have bad days. ES is coming back up to this VWAP area where both the New York anchored VWAP and the session VWAP are kind of colliding. Would be an interesting spot to watch for a short, maybe back down to the range low. ES is coming up to its anchored VWAP, or NQ is coming up to its anchored VWAP too, so we can see what happens here. What's gonna happen? Where are we gonna go? Taking a short here on that rejection from VWAP, simply because ES and NQ did it at the same time. Seeing if we can get back down to the range low. Could be dumb though, because NQ is actually above the session VWAP. So probably a bad trade. Zooming out to the 5-minute, if we have a decent tail on the top of that candle, might have a chance at it going back down a little bit. If it closes above these wicks, that would be bad. Targeting the bottom of the range. Yet again, moving to break even. You better not freaking hit my stop loss again. That would be like the 3rd time today. Come on. Oh. I hope you guys are entertained by my lack of trading skills. Oh, I can only laugh at myself. At least I'm not losing money, right? Do I trade crypto and is it beneficial? I don't know what you mean by beneficial. I mean, there's people that make money with it. I don't day trade crypto. I swing trade, like longer term holds. I haven't in a couple months. I haven't really been watching it. Still got like 3 minutes left on this 5-minute candle, and it's looking like it might just be bouncing like a liquidity grab down and then continuing up. Another day, another trade, hitting my stop loss. Gosh dang it. I should probably be done for the day. That was a really painful way to make $163, you guys. I guess I can't complain because I'm green, but geez. Way too much stress for the benefit. Oh man, one of those days. All right, guys, I think I'm going to call it. I'm not reading price very well right now, and I should probably stop while I'm ahead. If I keep trading, I'll probably find a way to manage to lose it all and end up red. So That's going to be it for me today. Do they close your account if you have an open position and it reaches negative 2,000, or will it only take you out if the total amount lost adds up to negative 2,000? I'm not sure exactly what you're asking. Take note, Marvel, but it does, like if you're in a position and you hit that negative $2,000, it'll close your account. Like it'll mark it as failed and you'll be done. So even if it's like unrealized and you're still in the position live, if you have reached that negative $2,000 mark, you're done. It's failed. All right, team. Have a good one. See you in Discord. Take care.